But if you found, and this is where it can sound a bit tricky because there's no one doing it, but if you are found as awareness, if that is found to be the principal reality, if the witness becomes the principal reality of what is real, via its perfect observation, you'll come to see that whatever object, subtle or gross, appears in it, none of it defines or adds or takes anything away from this perfect conscious observation, this perfect meditation, this Christ-like quality or consciousness. So in that, there's nothing to do. From that, there's nothing to do. There's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing to do. That you can think there's something to do, and this is where people get caught back up in the personal inference, the taking it into one's personal sense of self, and where then that opening of reality gets lost to experience again, and it becomes a memory, and you go chasing it. You say that does happen. But then there comes a day where reality comes in the shape and form of a perfect observation that has nothing to do with anything you've acquired or any technique. It's just this perfect witness. And here one comes to understand what meditation is, and one comes to understand that there's no one meditating. It's what St. Paul said, that prays within me, you see. This becomes the buried treasure that is found. It's not of this world, you see. Why is it not of this world? It's because it's knowing of this world. It gives meaning to this world. It gives meaning to the mind, to the body. And it always remains the knowing of the form. When the perfect observation rests in its own pure knowledge, which is a realized knowledge, not an acquired knowledge, nothing to do with anything you've ever learned. When this knowledge is revealed, it really is empty. But it's the reality, you see, reality. What is knowing of anything mind or anything, because our nervous system, our mental emotional habits, largely automatic, are largely unconscious or subconscious. They continually react or respond to external stimuli and internal stimuli. So there's this thing going on, the sense of. But what is knowing of it stands completely alone, completely undifferentiated, indivisible. Completely counterintuitive to the old method of doership, you know. So this awakens, and if this awakens, or if it realizes in a way where it has nothing to do with you, nothing to do with you. It's not of this world. Why is it not of this world? Because it's knowing of this world. So this knowing of this world doesn't relate from this world, which is what the I thought does when you get caught up in that illusory idea of your personal self experiencing your body mind. That's very much defined by the world, and that ego tries to control the world, tries to create order, create some kind of permanence, or is it? And it's completely ruled by this world, basically. The knowing of it isn't at all. The knowing of it is when liberated, meaning when it's no longer attached to the illusion of mind thinking itself. The knowing of this can relate from the knowing of this. This is so important. The knowing of this in relation to the knowing of this is oneness. It's only in our attachment we have an idea of ourself that needs to see itself reflected in a thought, given the illusion of thinking thoughts, and you live by these thoughts. But there's two objects, the subject idea and the object thought. These are two things. This is what makes up the duality, caught up in the duality. But the knowing in relation to knowing is one. It doesn't divide into a knowing subject and a knowing thought. You know, there's none of that. It's just knowing. It's just this. It's just knowing. See? And it, in relation to itself, it comes to see that it is the self. It's just one. See?